Yeah, because so somebody asked a question, and I'm just going to link that into it. How is it possible for you to be producing and still unproductive? The reality is there's always something to get done. Always something to get done. And society has shown us that the bigger it is, the more your applause. But that's not the truth, right? Like you said, little drops of water is what adds up to a really huge ocean. If I drink one bottle per day, then the next day I might drink two, I might drink three, I might drink four. So I keep building up to the summit, right? But society says just get it done. This huge goal. We need to learn how to break our goals into bite sizes. I say chunk your goals. Understand chunking. Chunking is such a strong and powerful thing, but a lot of us don't do it. Keep it KISS. Keep it simple, stupid, right? Keep it simple. You don't have to use massive words for it. You don't have to have this huge project. Have the huge project, but what is your minimum viable product, right? When you understand the power of the minimum viable product, it's easier for you to then say, okay, with every work cycle that I have a minimum viable product I'm working towards. And that's how you can be producing and productive. So every single thing I do every single day is leading up to something, because there's this goal, no matter how small, that I've set for myself, right? And at the beginning, I talked about low hanging fruits. Those are low hanging fruits that you've put for yourself. It's the minimum one, right? So you don't always have to have this huge goal that then becomes so big, and then what starts to happen? You start to procrastinate. I will do this. I will do this. And then sometimes it even brings in fear. You're afraid of getting started because you don't even know where to start. Imagine that you have to eat a whole elephant. Not that I'm saying you have to eat an elephant, but you're going to have to chunk it up, first of all, right? So in that process, having those massive goals, especially when you don't have capacity, even when you have capacity, right? It can be daunting, really daunting, because remember, you have a time frame to work within. But when you've broken them up into the minimum viable products and you spread that across a time frame to get it done, then guess what? It becomes something that is manageable. You feel good with yourself. Those checklists are going tick, 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 because you have something that you're doing. You feel more confident. You feel more productive. You feel like Superwoman, literally, or Superman, depending on who you are that is listening. But at the beginning of the day, it started with you saying, I don't have to push forward this huge thing. And it starts with communication, right? You need to be able to communicate your strategy. What is your strategy for getting this goal done? If you don't have a strategy, which is what it takes us back to what? Create, assemble, and attach. When you can adequately assemble what needs to be done, that is you showing people your stage one, your stage two, your stage three, your stage four. It is easier for people to trust that you will get it done. Let me give an example. There's this school I'm working with right now. It's in Ilorin. And so I met with some members of the parent committee a couple of days ago. And they said to me, what is it that you want to do? And I told them, oh, we're going to come and improve the school. And they said, hey, how? And I said, okay, let me tell you how. And I took three core pillars. I took financial management. I first of all showed them what the problem was and what the impact of the problem was and what we're going to do about it. I broke that down into just three goals, right? It doesn't have to be massive. We have other stages, but it's not every single time people need to see the big goals at that time. And this also goes to employers, right? Sometimes you give people on your teams these massive goals, not helping them understand the fact that they need to chunk it. And then they're stuck. They don't know how to move forward because they're afraid of failing. And they will not fail if they put one step in front of the other instead of running in, honestly, where angels fear to thread, like it said, right? And so I did that. And I did that in the three core areas. When I was done with that session, they said to me, you have a roadmap. And I said, yes, I have a roadmap. And my roadmap is what enables me to say to you confidently that this is what I'm going to do in your school. And that's the same thing. It's great to have big goals, but how are you going to get it done? If you don't chunk them down and if you cannot explain them to the people who are your stakeholders, then they're never going to trust you. And just having a lack of trust within that system already is problematic. So you don't want to even get into that place where you're struggling with trust, struggling with your integrity, and still struggling to get stuff done. So have a minimum viable product, right? And then you are producing and productive. Because at the end of the day, you can show to people, I did this, not saying I'm going to do it, and then you're working and working and working, and there's nothing done. And I will take us to Tom Hardy's book, Atomic Habits. That's the same thing, right? He has this little goal that he says, if you improve every day in these areas, what happens is at the end of a week, a month, you can clearly see that you have improved. But it starts with what? The minimal things that you do consistently every day.